Welcome to Tokyo Haneda Airport, where you'll join me on a flight from Tokyo to Singapore in Singapore Airlines Business Class. This flight was part of a one-way journey from Tokyo to Bali with a 5-day stopover in Singapore. The ticket cost 1,166 euros per person, paid in cash. Our journey began at the Asakusa Metro line, conveniently located near the Conrad Tokyo. This subway took us directly to Haneda Terminal 3, where we had a smooth check-in experience at the business class desk. The priority security access that came with our ticket was a real time saver. Following the signs, we made our way up the escalator to the ANA Lounge, available to business class passengers and Starline's Gold card holders. Although the lounge was spacious, it was quite crowded, making filming a bit challenging. However, the apron views and hot buffet made up for it. I opted for some ramen from the noodle bar and was quite pleased with my choice. I'd heard great things about the boarding process in Japan, and our experience didn't disappoint. Boarding was organized, with separate lines for each class of travel, and started right on time. We boarded a Boeing 777-300ER, which features 48 business class seats, divided into a smaller 3-row mini cabin and a larger 9-row main cabin. I ended up in the last row of the mini cabin, as I couldn't secure a bulkhead seat, which would have provided extra legroom. As I entered the aircraft, I was warmly greeted by every crew member I passed. My seat turned out to be the widest business class seat I've ever experienced. Let's take a closer look. There were no individual air vents and no overhead bins above the middle seats, giving the cabin a more open feel. To the right of the IFE screen was a small cubby with a moodlet drink tray beneath it. The footwell, although a bit oddly shaped, provided enough space, and beneath the footrest was a dedicated area for storing a backpack or handbag. The seat also comes with socks and very comfortable slippers. The armrest console housed a magazine rack, a touchscreen IFE remote, and an enclosed storage area that held the headphones and a bottle of water. The divider between seats could be raised for extra privacy, which is a nice feature if you're traveling alone. Behind this was an open storage area, an international power socket, and additional ports, including USB-A and HDMI. Above that, there was a reading lamp and a headphone jack, where I connected my AirFly Pro to use my AirPods Max wirelessly with the IFE. At the front of the seat, there was a lit-up vanity mirror, and the seat controls under the left armrest. Above were 3 additional reading lights, each aimed in a different direction. Since it was an early flight, only non-alcoholic drinks were offered as pre-departure beverages. By the time the safety video was playing and we were taxiing to the runway, I had settled in nicely. Service began with a hot towel, a welcome touch. The tray table, which deployed from the right armrest, impressed me with its flexibility. Not only could it be pushed and pulled or turned, but it could also be adjusted for height. Here is a quick look at the menu. Feel free to pause the video. As a cocktail enthusiast, I had to try the Singapore Sling. It was good, though a bit sweet for my taste, so I paired it with a glass of champagne. Shortly after, the famous chicken satay skewers were served before the table was fully set, making them a great amuse-bouche. My appetizer, which included duck breast and prosciutto, was very enjoyable. For the main course, I took advantage of Singapore Airlines' Book the Cook service and had pre-ordered the tonkotsu ramen. Soup is always a comforting choice on a flight, and this one didn't disappoint. I happily slurped up every last bit. Dessert reminded me that matcha isn't my favorite flavor, as the matcha ice cream wasn't to my liking. I opted for the fruit plate instead, which was refreshing. To finish off the meal, I enjoyed a cappuccino. The lavatory was nicely decorated with flowers besides a full-body mirror, adding a touch of elegance to the space. Opposite the main mirror, there was a separate vanity mirror along with another one above the sink. Cloth hand towels were provided, along with lotion and perfume, which were thoughtful additions. A particularly convenient feature was the foot pedal for opening the waste bin. Definitely a hygienic touch. While there wasn't an amenity kit provided at the seat, a drawer in the lavatory housed essentials like toothbrushes, razors, and combs. Back at my seat, this is the maximum recline this model offers. Bed mode is deployed differently, which I'll show you later. Settling in, I explored the excellent entertainment options. There was a wide selection of both Western and Asian movies and TV shows. The IFE was responsive, though it could only be controlled via the remote, as the screen itself wasn't touchscreen enabled. Although there were no cameras on board, the 3D flight map provided a good overview of our journey. Wi-Fi was complimentary in business class, and I was pleasantly surprised by the decent speeds it offered. The noise-canceling over-ear headphones provided were adequate, though nothing exceptional. If you have your own headphones and an AirFly Pro, I'd recommend using them for a better experience. As I enjoyed a few episodes of Modern Family, the crew came around with some mid-flight snacks. Always a welcome treat. The seat's design is quite unique, with both positives and a few downsides. One minor issue I encountered was that leaning too much on the right armrest sometimes caused the storage door to open or the tray table to deploy unintentionally. On the plus side, the screen can be tilted downward, making it easier to watch while lying down. Speaking of lying down, I attempted to convert the seat into bed mode myself by pressing the bed button. However, the bed mechanism requires a bit more effort than just pressing a button. The back of the seat folds down to reveal the bed, but I couldn't manage it from the reclined position. Fortunately, a friendly crew member noticed my struggle and kindly offered to help. He first returned the seat to an upright position, then released the lever at the back to fold down the backrest, revealing a prepared bed. While the idea of trading a simple button press for a proper mattress sounds appealing, the mattress itself was firmer than I expected, which slightly affected comfort. However, the width of the seat provided plenty of space for my upper body, which was a plus. The bed requires you to lie at an angle with your feet pointed towards the middle of the aircraft rather than straight ahead. This isn't an issue, as many herringbone or reverse herringbone seats are designed this way. The only discomfort comes in lounge mode, where the footwell being off-center forces your legs to angle towards the middle. However, once in bed mode, the footwell was spacious enough that I didn't feel too constrained. The staggered seat arrangement also provided a lot of privacy from neighboring passengers, which is always appreciated. This was my first experience flying with Singapore Airlines. While I've seen countless reviews raving about the airline and its crews, I found our flight to be very good, just not mind-blowing. And that's absolutely okay. I can't fault anything or anyone to a significant degree. I specifically chose this aircraft to try out this particular seat, though we could have opted for the 787 instead. The crew was friendly and pleasant, though not overly attentive in the way some reviews suggest. But overall, it was a solid experience, and I would definitely fly Singapore Airlines again when I get the chance. What about you? Have you flown Singapore Airlines before? I'd love to hear about your experiences, so feel free to share them in the comments below, right after you like this video and hit that subscribe button. By the way, my best flight to date was just before this one, Swiss first class from Zurich to Tokyo. If you're curious about that experience, click on this video. It was truly incredible. Thank you so much for watching, happy travels, and see you soon.